Think of a time when you felt really happy. May I request you to just shut your eyes, think, feel it, and maybe see the expressions on your faces. Now think of a time when you heard something that got you really scared. May I see the expressions on your faces? Something that you're doing with your fist, with your hands, entire body language. Now think of a time when you really felt at peace. Ladies and gentlemen, we are living in times when emoticons are replacing emotions. I thank APJ School Noida for giving me this opportunity. What I have to share, please don't take that as a speech, but what I have to share is a bit of my experience that I'd like to discuss with you, share with you, because I feel that it merits sharing. Forming a theatre group in a city like Calcutta, where we practiced theatre in English language, it wasn't easy for us to get people to come and see what we wanted to voice. It has been a 25-year journey, and during this journey, there have been situations when I faced real troubled moments, trying times, challenging phases. But what got me going was something that I define as purpose of existence. You see, survival is something that we all develop, but it is prevailing that I think gives existence a meaning. When there is a possibility to win, I just feel that it is that direction that gives one the motivation to try and excel. It is important, I felt, at a time when I started going to school, that let me make my existence impactful, to be relevant. As a school student, my intention was to become the school captain. So whatever I did was first to create an impression. If I saw litter lying around, and only if teachers saw what I was doing, would I try to tidy up the place. I started studying hard to come first in class, only to create an impression so that my teachers were impressed, so that one day I could become the school captain. Finally, it was a time when I was in the 12th standard, and the name of the school captain was announced, and I got up from my seat, and I was going up to the podium when a friend of mine told me that, hey, listen, that's not your name that is announced. Dreams shattered, and then I felt, in this process, what did I imbibe? I had become a person, what I wanted to do as an impression became my expression. It became the way that I was conducting myself. So it is not what I managed to achieve. I realized that my dharma is my karma without even expecting the phal. What I want to achieve, I may not get, but it is the process that really matters. It is this gift of theatre for which I'm really fortunate. It started from school days. In college days, along with two of my friends, we formed what is called Theatrician. One of them is present here. And over the years, despite trying times, we have constantly tried to make our existence felt. Do the kind of plays that we believed in doing without catering to the market, but rather creating a market. In 2019, I was diagnosed with fourth stage carcinoma, seminoma carcinoma. And even during those extremely excruciating times and days of chemotherapy, I just knew for a fact that I am going to get back on stage. Within 3 months of treatment, I was back to doing my marathon running as well. Out of 55 marathons, 15 of them have been achieved after going through excruciating chemotherapy, and for that I really owe it to theatre. Purpose of existence. A purpose of existence also requires reinventing, reimagining. I have mentors, and I would like to share this with you. Some of my mentors are also fictitious characters. Bruce Wayne and his purpose of existence is Gotham City. As a father, sometimes a child becomes our Gotham City. Whatever we do in life, we do it for the betterment of our children. As a teacher, the students become the teacher's Gotham City. All the sacrifices, bearing at times what one will call selfless, being involved in a profession which might be recognized as thankless, but at the same time willing to sacrifice so that the students are educated in the manner the teacher believes education is to be imparted. That process of education becomes the teacher's Gotham City. For me, theatrician became my Gotham City. No matter what, I took it upon me to ensure, despite debts, despite the fact that at times certain situations would even lead to police cases, humiliation, debts to the extent that at times even borrowing from friends to make existence meet. Despite it all, not to give up on what I consider my Gotham City. That led to discoveries, reinvention, reimagination. I never imagined that one day I would become an educator. It is during COVID days I landed up with a job for which I was being paid a handsome salary, living in almost a resort-like place. And what was my job? My job was to watch cinema. However, it was not just to watch cinema, but also to educate cinema. The impact of culture in cinema is something that I needed to communicate with young minds. It gave me an opportunity to come and see theatre, to look at films from their perspective, and to get to see the reflection of culture in cinema. Something that I never imagined doing, I started doing, and that is having a regular job. Of course, I do not like reporting to authorities. I do not believe in confinements. I believe that rules are meant to be broken, and that is what I've tried to achieve with my kind of theatre. However, in this process, I also realized in order to break rules, I also need to respect rules. I need to know the rules if I really need to break them. And do I need to break rules just for the heck of breaking? No, definitely not. Only when I see there is a need for change. Again, with my own perspective, reimagining, reinvention. Just because I believe in something, that does not need to be your belief system. It is my belief. But in this process, what I have garnered is the experience that I'd like to share. What I also realized in this entire process that it is the process that matters and not just the eventual production. Many a times we fail miserably. But what I have also realized is this platform, this vehicle called theatre, has given so many people a voice and identity. The very fact that they are able to look at the mirror at the end of the show and tell themselves that, okay, fine, I have done my best. Now, this is something I can talk about plays that we try to perform. I can talk about films that we try to make. You are in your own profession and you have your own passion. Are we being passionately involved in what we are doing just for the heck of it? Or is it being relevant? Now, what is this relevance? I am grateful to APJ School who has invited me, APJ Noida, to share a bit, but what are we going to do with my speech? You have invested time on a Saturday morning, you have come here, so you're spending time with us throughout this afternoon, but what importance is my speech and why do you even need to listen to me? My only answer to myself is, like everybody else, I too am somebody who's trying to make my ends meet. Along with that, I'm constantly fighting for my relevance, understanding the importance of my existence. If I am alive today, it means that I had a yesterday. Yesterday, my today was my tomorrow. And because I have a today, it means I might have a tomorrow. What am I going to do tomorrow? What am I going to do the very next second, the very next minute? The moment I have a purpose that defines what my next minute is going to unfold, even if it doesn't unfold the way I want it to, but the very fact that I have that purpose gives my life a meaning. It gives my future essence. It makes my future impactful. Because of the fact that I am designing my future. I can't say I don't believe in astrology or astronomy because I do not know the subjects. But I definitely don't want to depend on my stars. I don't think that it is what is inscribed in my palm that will shape my future, but what these hands are capable of doing is what is supposed to shape my future. And for that, I really need to acknowledge my present. It is this sharing that I'm getting a chance to share with you, this thought that I'm getting a chance to share with you, which is why I'm taking the liberty. It gives me immense pleasure to share this. I'd also like to talk a bit about how the film Rocky was made. Sylvester Stallone's Rocky. It will be quite interesting to know what all was the journey that he had gone through, Sylvester Stallone went through to make the film. What I now remember is a sentence from the film. It says, it's not how hard you hit, but how hard you can get hit. It is during this process there are so many blows that we face. For living, for my Gotham City, so many blows that I'm going to face, but what is my level of endurance? When I see youngsters today who keep complaining about depression, when I see youngsters today who keep saying that they do not want to follow norms, that they want to live their own lives, and it is something I definitely want to support them with. All I'd like to share is that the minute I know that what my tomorrow has in store, and the minute I am working for my tomorrow, I think a lot of these elements can actually be combated. And this I have shared out of personal experience that I've gone through. Thank you so much for this opportunity. This is what I had to share.